back to the channel, or welcome in general, with your host, The Shy Guy. And here today we have episode 4 of Kickstart Eurostar Beats, Super Eurobeat Bats Edition Volume 1. And as stated in episode 3, we are going back to the Beat Freak label. And as usual, if you are following this series, you can skip the few seconds that are about to come. Brief introduction about the series. Kickstart Eurostar Beats is Series 1 on the blogging series of the Shy Guy reviewing Eurobeat. Here's how I'll be reviewing it. It's a 1 to 5 star ratio, no half stars, of how vibrant it can get, plus additional comments on how the album is in general, each individual song, and the album cover art itself. Also depending on how long the series is, or how many songs are in the album, I might be obliged to review more than one album in a video, so that we can really define or encourage you to take this path into Eurobeat. Introduction to Super Eurobeat Bats Edition Volume 1. Date released, as far as I know, we only have 1990. How long did the series run on from? 3 volumes, plus Bats Eurobeat Volume 1, Where's Robin mix. And how popular do I think this series is? Well, unless you know Beat Freak, and unless you are into looking at the very early stages of Eurobeat, you're not really gonna know this one. Any facts or general sound gist of the album? Nothing really, apart from this whole album and the series is nothing but Asia record tracks. Which is kind of interesting because I'm pretty sure that the Super Eurobeat 1990 series is nothing but Flea record tracks, but the Bat series is just Asia Records. Ratings of the songs, discuss who sung it. We're not going to go for labels, I just said it's all by Asia Records. Any notes, star ratings. Let's get into this, but first things first, I just want to say there isn't a playlist of this album or any of the series on YouTube. On Discogs itself, there is no listing of runtimes of each song. So, unfortunately, and I really don't want to do this, but maybe I should have, maybe I should have avoided the volume itself, or maybe I should have avoided the series itself, but I kind of didn't want to do that because I am interested in, I am wanting to encourage people to explore the early stages of Eurobeat, so I can't really avoid it in a way, but unfortunately all my reviews are going to be nothing but reviews on the extended mixes of the songs, which is something I don't really want to do, but because there is no information in the archive world, and I am aware of that, when it comes to different medias at least. Canada is the main problem for that. So, as much as it's depressing that it's extended cuts and not original cuts, I thought I would just at least let you know on that one. So, starting off with the first song in its track listing is Alpha Town, Hey Robin, 3 stars out of 5, Mara Farina, 1988. Pure Italo disco. We get a mysterious-like intro, but immediately you can think about being in some place like Gotham City, or wherever the hell Robin is located. It should probably be noted that I'm not the biggest fan of superheroes, but then I am kind of dabbling in Batman from time to time. But you can tell that this is going to be an Alpha Town song. And yes, we are talking about Robin, or at least superheroes in general. With Mara Farina's incredible vocals, although for me this song isn't in my top list when it comes to Alpha Town, I'll still give it a good score, and it sits maybe under the borderline or so, or maybe at least under the Power of Magic, if we come to rate Alpha Town songs. But it still gives me the crime vibe that I like Alpha Town for. Besides, who doesn't like a song repeating the title throughout? It adds more to painting a scenario in your mind. But still, for me, it needs a kick in terms of the melody. Track 2, Mila Looking Out. Unknown vocalist, apparently on Discogs, but in a comment on YouTube, the mighty Helacia says, "This sounds more like a Christina Cucci, 1989. Oh, okay, so here we go again. If you have been following this series, then you know from episode 2 where one of Mila's songs was featured, and how I said I find this alias to be tricky. It's in no doubt that I'm going to say it here as well. But I will try to give some decent review because someone else might enjoy this better than me, and I don't really want to be so off-putting, do I? So we have an intro that's almost 2 minutes long, and it's the standard Italo disco sounds, where I do have to get on board and find out what instruments are used. The verses for me are flat, not really much is going on, and I would struggle to find some form of a rhythm to dance to as well. And I can't seem to find the pre-chorus either, unless I wait until verse 2 to find some repeat lines, but we're struggling with this song quite well. I didn't really make it to verse 2. But now, for the chorus, I can hear that there is a build-up for a couple of seconds, but much like anything else, it's all still too flat. Plus, the way the chorus goes, no. Moving on. Track number 3, Ciao Ciao, Don't Go Breaking My Heart, 2 stars out of 5. Christina Cucci and Rachel Finelli, 1988. A song featured on Super Eurobeat Volume 6, so I'm glad this has gotten onto the Super Eurobeat series. However, I can't remember much for the song itself, but I think I at least know the title and how it's said, but I could be wrong. Except one thing, I keep thinking that this is a male alias. For me, this feels like a little bit innocent, as most heartbreaking songs in Eurobeat can turn really aggressive, in a sort of almost possessive sort of way. But the fact that this one is rather soft and calming for a plead of "don't hurt me, please don't hurt me," it's a nice way to see how the tones of songs have changed over the generations. As today we are far more narcissistic than we would have been in the 1940s or so. Well, okay, before you actually argue with me on that fact, I know you could still get aggression within the 1940s, but it wasn't portrayed as cynical as it is today. So for a soft song in Italo disco and maybe a hint of early Eurobeat structure, I would recommend this to be a strong point for early Eurobeat. Although for the last point I want to make, this is a song you could find. For me, I feel like this is a song you could find in a low-budget music video. Singing this in the fields or woods, maybe having a little bit of dancing, but nothing too extravagantic because you want to keep the soft and minimalistic vibe. Track 4, Chris, My, 2 stars out of 5. Christina Cucci, yet again, 1989. This song is featured on That's Eurobeat Volume 12, probably where I know the song from, as the That's Eurobeat series is pretty interesting. And yes, I will be reviewing it somewhere around about maybe episode, I don't know, between episodes 20 or 30, somewhere along those lines. Chris is a girl's name. Don't let that fool you. And the only way I can seem to remind myself is Christine Meadows from Night Heat. This is a fun little song, which you can tell from the intro. A funky little tune, and it sounds a little 1990s, though it is the late 80s. Vocals are a bit off for me, but I do like her pitch, and she kind of reminds me a little bit like myself when I do try to do a bit of singing here and there. But obviously I'm inconsistent when it comes to keeping the right tone, the right pitch, so forth. And I am a little bit deeper when I do sing as well. That's just so I'm not hurting my throat as such. Though it's just groovy for everything else, so what's not to like? Title of the song can feel a little bit misleading on how you thought it would have been said, which is my only concern, because that was me. But other than that, it's a good standard song. Track 5, Laurie, Out of Your Heart, 3 stars out of 5. Clara Moroni, 1988. And here it is. And you can hear what Asia Records was like in the Italo Disco days, as this is similar to the last track, My. Another sweet song about romance, what's not to like? When you want to express your passion, desire, because the 1980s was all about vibrancy. Yes, I have started to go a bit soft reviewing these songs. Melody is far too gorgeous here. I love you, you love me, don't keep me out of your heart, as I want to keep loving you forever. Who wrote these lyrics? It's almost too poetic. See, this is what we need in Eurobeat. Lyrics written well like this. And I know in my humble opinion, but songs are like poems, if you really read the lines. In fact, maybe we should take a little listen to this.
Oh, what a feeling that I have for you. Every little thing I do, baby. So, it's so funny when I'm feeling blue. You can give me hot and fire. You know my love is all what I can do. Only if you want to, baby. I know your love is everything I need. 'Cause honey, I don't wanna live out of your heart, baby. What can I have to do? Out of your heart, your love is all my truth.
If anything, this song should have been on the SEB series. Track 6, Ricky Davies, Lovin' You, 1 star out of 5. Alberto Bindi, 1989. And we are back to Super Eurobeat Volume 6, and how I wish Asia Records got a better chance in the early Super Eurobeat volumes. Nice Italo Disco intro before we get the rest of the instruments in. Unfortunately, I don't remember much from Super Eurobeat Volume 6, except New York City by Oscar, which is also a Mara Farina song, because Volume 6 is rather bland for me. And when I first listened to it, most of the songs were missing on YouTube. I do like the vocals though, rather Italo Disco, but that makes me want to check out his other works at least. Though I'm just not too keen on this one. It's okay, melody-wise, lyrics-wise, but there's nothing for me to pick out that's significant and to even talk about, so yeah. Track 7, Jenny Key, Somebody's Lovin', 2 stars out of 5. Clara Moroni, 1989. This one is featured on Super Eurobeat Volume 3. Not 6, 3. Super Eurobeat Volume 3, Super Eurobeat Volume 6, that's Eurobeat Volume 12. Coming right at you with a possible, maybe biased review. Actually, can I state this? Then I think Super Eurobeat Volume 3 is more advanced. Is that the word I would use? Well, more advanced from Volume 6, because they seem to have gone backwards a little bit, at least in terms of development and progress, or distinctifying themselves from Italo Disco to Eurobeat. Anywho, this song. I love the melody. And yeah, like I said, it's possibly biased review, because I like Clara in this. But as much as I'm not a fan of Jenny Key either, I do have a negative point to be making. The title is weird. Let's just establish that. And something else that is also weird is the lyrics in the chorus. I thought it would be something about somebody loving someone, but it seems to be something way else off that mark. I can't really make heads or tails over it. To me, it feels like she's questioning herself. It's like she's talking from a second point of view about herself. But I could just be making stuff up. But like I said, it's kind of confusing. Though it's just the way that the song is written. If somebody's storming just to take my heart in hand, then I guess you should be falling for them. I don't know. This is confusing. Let me know in the comments section what you think. But other than that, I do like it. It's quite of a thing that's gonna get you thinking. Maybe I am just making stuff up. Track 8, Barbara Ciao Boys, 3 stars out of 5. Elena Gobi Frattini, 1988. Ciao either meaning hello or goodbye in Italian. Any little bit of Italian that seeps into Eurobeat gets me excited. I just wish there could be some songs in full Italian, but then it doesn't sound like it's a language it's easy to sing in, except opera. This song is also a groovy creation, and you can feel the flow rather nicely in your body, that you can't help but to start swaying along. In fact, you can hear a little in the intro when they mix up the title and the feature of Asia Records, which is neat. A song about dancing. Hello boys, hello girls, bye boys, and let's dance together. We are in a club of the late 1980s, and Elena's vocals feel a little bit off, as I haven't listened to her early works, and when I do listen to early Eurobeat, it tends to be more Italo artists that somewhat sadly disappear, or probably go back to Italo disco. But then I think in a way, Elena Gobi, who is best known as Lolita and Virginelle, I'm not really too keen on her in general. But I do like this one because it's not her screeching so high with excessive notes. So, track number 9, Molto Carina, Love for Sale, 4 stars out of 5. Rachel Fellini, 1989. Molto Carina. Can I say this is small, but it is really a something alias. If you really want to get your teeth into the early works, I would give her a chance. The song is also featured on That's Eurobeat Volume 12. And saying this now, listening to the song, this intro kind of feels like an Aleph piece, although Aleph is 8-beat C, and obviously going to be a bit later than Asia Records. Either way, the intro gives good chills, and I know I'm going to like it. Love it, even. Not only is this song bursting with high energy and BPM, but listening to everything else from the vocals, with instruments, melody, and the little samples that go here and there, which is a somewhat trademark when it comes to Asia Records, especially in the future. This just works wonders on setting the romantic and passionate atmosphere. That this is also something else that I adore within Eurobeat. Hot damn, I gotta get a dance routine made for this. What a weird title, because the whole fact this has nothing to do with buying women for the night, shall I put it that way. Track number 10 with 4 more to go. Gary Cooper, Never Can Change My Mind, 3 stars out of 5. Giancarlo Pasquini, also known as Dave Rogers, 1988. You know, just now, it's never really occurred to me if Dave Rogers has ever worked for Asia Records. And upon looking at the song posted by the Nets22, shout out to them, honestly give them a subscribe for the Talo Disco and so much more they post to their channel. Yes, definite links down in the description for them. I found a comment that I made 10 months ago. Dave Rogers really reminded me of David Bowie at times, such a great artist. And I had Darwin Rojo reply, well, it was actually revealed that Dave Rogers was a great fan of David Bowie. At Darwin Rojo, well, that actually explains a lot. Thank you for that. I actually kind of wondered where that comment was and what song I put that under. I know it was a early Dave Rogers song, at least, because for me, Dave Rogers' early work is better than the stuff he's making now. The song dives straight into the lyrics first, and nothing else, which means you have to prepare yourself way ahead from when the song really starts. Unless you want to aimlessly listen to the intro and then prepare yourself for the actual start yourself. Though now I can see why I made that David Bowie comparison of this song. Dave's vocals are quite strong here, and I might not be a fan, But if his songs are like this, and I mean exclusively like this, I will tell you that I am a fan. However, as much as I haven't listened to David Bowie's work, a good handful at least, I can't comment if the melody would even be close to his works, but I doubt that in huge amounts. Never Can Change My Mind. A song about, well, I can't find any lyrics, but I'm far too lost in the atmospheric vocals to even pay attention properly. And if anything, I'm getting Labyrinth vibes here, and that's a good movie from the 80s, also featuring David Bowie. Track 11, Alpha Town, yet again, Power of Magic, 4 stars out of 5. Mara Farina, 1989. Okay. A semi-biased review. Oh wait 2 seconds. Super Eurobeat Volume 3, where a playlist only contained a cut that is under 4 minutes. Today, I just found the extended version posted by the Nets 22 yet again. And oh boy, without swearing, because we can't because of YouTube and all that jargon, this changes a lot. The original cut that I've been hearing on Super Eurobeat Volume 3 for maybe a year now does wonders. But I would never really see it as an Alpha Town song. As much as it's up there in the top section for me, as I explained in the Robin song, that Power of Magic is above Robin when it comes to tier listing or ranking Alpha Town songs. Maybe I should do a video on that, who knows. But I would never really see it as an Alpha Town song. It would just sit under the borderline for me. The Super Eurobeat cut starting with the groovy little tune where you can instantly feel a dance rhythm form in your bones before jumping straight into the verse. Ladies and gentlemen, can I just say we get a proper introduction in the extended version, and I think I'm going to cry, while being surrounded in the sheer beauty of magic that the song is titled for. In fact, I'm going to have to let you listen to it. Magic, probably having nothing to do with wizards, witches, or sorcery for that matter. The lyrics are vague, but I tend to dabble in some kind of atmosphere whenever I hear the song, and if anything now in the extended mix, it's given me that push to assign this song to an actor, although more or less his character. This one featuring Laszlo Thaxton from Strange Paradise, which is a gothic soap drama. So yeah, witchcraft and magic is the main theme, though I don't think his character really believes in any of it. But let's move on from that, before I end up saying anything regrettable. What else does the extended version have to offer? Well, we had the title being mixed up, we get quite an instrumental piece which seems to turn rather soft from the song itself, so it really gives me different emotions to play with, and now we cut to the chorus of the song, and the woes until the end of the song and the end of this review. Track 12, Super Love, How Deep Is Your Love? 1 star out of 5. Unknown vocalist according to Discogs, 1989. Do I even need to say what this song is about? I don't think so. So what am I talking about instead? Yes, my opinion, of course. This is not to be confused with the song by Bee Gees, same title, or the one by Calvin Harris, but then that wouldn't make any sense because that's 2015, but I did actually think about that when I first heard it. Please don't ask why. In fact, I thought that one by Calvin Harris was at least 1990s. Anywho, the song itself, there's not much I can say. It's not for me. I know the title and all, but nothing else is memorable. This is more of a club song, in my opinion, than an Italo disco or a Eurobeat song for me. I don't even know if you could ask this song to someone. You couldn't sing this song to ask someone how deep is your love. That's what I'm trying to get at. Track 13, Mark Farina, So Long, 1 star out of 5. As guessed, Mara Farina, 1989. Now we have a back-to-back double feature with Farina, so buckle up, it's the owner of Asia Records. The title of the song is almost hidden in the song itself, which is a nice little touch. Also, just remember the star is the same as Mr. Me's I Go Down, which is a song under Gino. Yes, links down in the description for that one. I think it's also by a different label as well, I could be wrong. The melody in this one feels a little bit obscure in eeriness. Before the lyrics come in and romance, it's sweet and soft as a standard Maro song. Not sure how I feel about the woman crying out. Doesn't matter much because there isn't many vocals in this. They are a bit weak as well. This song is mostly just melody based. And last but not least, track 14, Alan Barclay, Don't Let Me Go, 1 star out of 5. Mara Farina, 1988, where we will try to figure out if this is a song I would use to round off the volume. Trademarked by me. Hell yes. Damn, that intro reminds me of another one of his songs. Couldn't remember the name, of course. Anyways, Farina and a dark sounding intro. This is going to be a tragic song, I bet. Oh no, it goes a bit lighter, it goes a little bit lighter themed. Why are the sad songs so light in the 1980s? The vocals are better here than they were in the previous song, but I still have a hard time trying to hear the lyrics, especially when they don't seem to exist either. So, there's nothing really else I can say about this song, sadly. Additional comments. As stated at the start of this video, it's a little hard for me to review this, as I'm just going over the extended mixes, but I bet the original album is much better, and highlights the golden parts of each song, especially in the songs you don't like, as then I could see them in a whole new light, and why people like it. However, for now, I think this is a weak volume, and I wouldn't want to really carry on with the rest of the series, except I have in my personal playlist of Volume 2. But it doesn't mean to say I like the songs, however. They're just good for background noise. Although maybe the Where's Robin mix, Volume 1, is probably better than this release. But who can comment in an archive world? So that's why I'm giving it 2 stars out of 5. Because we're missing out on a fantastic journey, and imagining the truth is never a good thing to do. 1 star for a couple of good songs, 1 star for Asia Records and Beat Freak trying their best at least, so let's be a little bit considerate. So now that brings me to the end of the video. I know this episode has been a bit rushed, rather negative. I didn't have the best of time reviewing any of this. I did think about quitting several times and just moving on to Delta again and then going on to the labels itself. But I decided to push myself because, like I said, the Beat Freak arc is really mainly for people to be aware of Origins, first starting of Origins to Eurobeat, so I didn't really want to be too, terrible and too missing out because I don't like early Eurobeat. No, I do like early Eurobeat, and I do dabble in Italo disco from time to time, but if you ask me, the Beat Freak stuff is really hard to get into, and as said, when you don't have the correct information, it's a little bit hard to judge as well. However, for episode 5, coming out in March, February is a sort of break for me, at least for the talking wise, so I can just rest my voice a little. Episode 5 will be in March. We're going straight back to Delta and its second series that it has. Episode 6 is going to be the last Beat Freak episode, and then we're going to talk about labels. Although And then that's when this series should really be kicking off, because I've noticed that the Beat Freak stuff is not getting enough attention, but like I said, it's just there for anyone who is really interested, regardless, because the audience is really, really large, and there's people who like many different things, so you have to be considerate and cater to everybody, even if you don't like it. But still, that's the thing. We can't always be positive. We can't always be super biased and we can't gatekeep for that matter. We have to be negative, we have to be realistic, and we have to be fair to everybody. Either way, if you have enjoyed this video, I know I didn't, but if you did, likes, comments, so forth, all that stuff. And stick around for the content to come.